Mask off. Mask off. Mask off. Mask off. Mask off. Mask off. You've been tuned in to Mask Off, with conversation will rule the nation on face-to-face basis when we blast off. It's real on the asphalt, on the turf of the court. Yeah, we here for the sport, so take your mask off so I can hear your ass talk. Let me hear you explain. Hold the thoughts on your brain. Is your ass small? Spit facts and real talk. I need that shit from the street that make you think real deep and take a long walk. This podcast is hella lit with my man JD Fence and Skizzo Blizzo.
Yo, what it do, family? Welcome back, man. You know what it is, man. New edition, man. Mask Uncovered Podcast. You know who I am, man. J Defense, man. That's JAYDFENCE. All platforms, man. Mask Uncovered. You see us on Mask Uncovered YouTube, Mask Uncovered Facebook, Mask Uncovered Instagram. Whatever it is, man. And J Defense on all platforms also.
You know it. Your boy Hollywood Skiz back at y'all. Been on a hiatus. Just chilling and shit. Came across like 30 acres of land, so I'm trying to farm that. Not fucking with y'all. But I'm back, man. Just been gone for a minute,
30
man.
cent acres.
Back stronger, bigger, newer, doing bigger things, man. Finally got a sponsor out this bitch, man. Like
Sponsors it is, baby.
y'all see what that is, man. Liquor sponsor, Bananas Liquor.
We told y'all we was doing
Told you
bigger
we
and
was coming,
better.
man.
We was
Shit
coming,
bigger
man.
now,
Stay
man.
tuned.
I mean, you motherfuckers are sponsored, man. Shit, man. But anyway, man, the podcast going in a different direction, man. Fucking around, hobby, had it as a hobby. Now we going strong with it, man. Like we said, new sponsor, new show, new energy, new guests. We back at y'all, just strong, man. But in the building right now, we got minority owner of Bananas Liquor, who is now sponsoring Mask Uncovered. My man, you've seen him before here. He's been on a few shows and shit. But now it's a little bigger, man. He part of the fam for real now. What's up,
Man,
my
JD,
dude?
Y'all know
Skizzo
who it is,
Blizzo on the
man.
Blizz.
Let them know
It's
who's in the
K-Flip,
house.
1969, one of Barry's own. You know what I mean? You know how we do this, how we get down. And I'm bringing in Bananas, the new liquor, you know what I mean? Part owner, minority partner, you know what I mean? Black owned, that's what we doing. We coming here sponsorship, straight from Brazil, you know what I mean? So we just gonna get into a little bit today. I'll explain to you guys, you know what I mean, how it came about, you know what I mean, how I rock with it, how we rock with it, and I'm always gonna roll with Mask Uncovered. Let's get it.
And y'all seen them on that episode. So what we trying to show and prove is like the people that we have up here is like, this ain't just, get on camera, what have you. People got things moving. You're going to see the action happening as we go along. So stay tuned. You're going to see reoccurring guests, whatever. But this is one that's been prominent since we started. And like you see what we got going now. Now we got a sponsor, Mask Uncovered Podcast, man. So y'all make sure y'all go grab a bottle. How many stores is it in right now? Where's it at?
So it's in about 100 liquor stores, right? From the North Shore to the South Shore, you know what I mean? If you Google it, you know what I mean? And you can look for Bananas Liquor, you know what I mean? And it might tell you exactly where those stores are. There's a few. I know Carrie Hill Liquors out in Brockton. There's 420 Main Street Liquors out in Brockton. They got it. There's some spots up on the North Shore and Lowell, but about 100 liquor stores have it. Bars, restaurants, you know what I mean? They have it.
Do y'all
So-
do shipping? Like, can they get stuff, like, say you in New York or something? Can you order some bottles to have it shipped to you? Just not yet?
Well, right now
Brand
it's just
new,
exclusive,
brand new.
right?
Okay,
So
okay.
right now it's exclusive to Florida. Like we got, there's rights to ship it into Florida. You got Georgia, you got Texas, you got Massachusetts. I believe you got one Mid-Atlantic state, but don't quote me on that. You know what I mean? And then you have Canada. You know what I mean?
But you just talked to my whole home base, man. Listen, man, Texas, Georgia, y'all know where we at, man. Make sure y'all log on, man. I need to see them DMs, man, asking how, what, and why, man. For real, let's make this happen. I support y'all. Support Mask Uncovered. Support, listen, Bananas, baby.
Bananas Liquor.
Bananas Liqueur.
Hey, this should be the new hood drink, man. Everybody who's watching this, man, pick this up, taste it. Before we go any further, let me jump into this drink of the day, man, because it's right on time with the support we're going to need, man.
Give the people what they want, Skizzo.
Matter of fact, I'm not even going to do the drink of the day today. I'm going to let one of the owners do it, man, because
nice.
This is brand new. Like, this is a special edition. Like, we celebrating, man. This is big, man, to have a sponsor like this, man. A brand new Liqueur sponsoring us in our brand new takeover.
Right.
Like, Master and Cup was brand new, really. You know what I mean? We hobbying with it, but now we trying to take it to where we can take it. So I'm gonna let my man introduce y'all to the drink of the day, because actually we ain't tasting it. We tasting it right here today, and he knows what's best goes with it, and we gonna let him tell y'all what the drink of the day is.
Facts. So there's about 4 different mixtures that you can use with that, right? So there's like a pina colada, you know what I mean? There's so you can look it up. Like if you YouTube it, you Google it. I don't know all the mixtures. I'm not a bartender like that, but what we're gonna do here and now, you can take a shot of it. It's straight. It's a little sweet. It tastes like banana, but ladies, you're gonna love it. Fellas, you're gonna love it because the ladies love it. You're gonna want to buy it for them. You know what I mean? And the straight shots is good. But I'm gonna do a mixer tonight for y'all that is gonna rock everybody's shoes. So today I'm gonna do the bananas liquor, a couple of lemon or lime, whichever one you choose, right? So you can do 2 to 3 parts of it, and then you can do a lemon or lime squeezed in their juice, and then you're gonna do some ginger ale, some regular swept ginger ale, and then you got you a nice mixed drink. You can do the colada, you can do a straight shot on the rocks with lime in it, you know what I mean, and then a couple of other mixtures that, you know what I mean, that's out there for you to partake in, and the bartenders know how to make it. You know what I mean? At bars and restaurants to serve it. All you gotta do is ask for it, and they know what to do. So let's get it.
Pop that bottle,
opening
man.
the bottle right now. You know what I mean?
Celebrate, man.
This is the first one on Mask Uncovered.
Let me get my good side. Shit, both of them good.
I'm gonna stick the trash in my pocket just so I keep it copacetic. You know what I mean?
So with this liquor, I'm sounding like fucking somebody pouring. With this liquor, it's all type of ways to make drinks with this, right? Like it's all type of juice you can mix with it. It's all type of some sodas you can mix with it. Like you can fancy this drink. You know what I mean? Like some drinks you can only touch with a cognac with a soda or something like that. But there's many ways to make this taste good.
Well, I mean, just gotta remember, like it's a banana, right? So it has a banana flavor. So you might want to use like a pineapple juice. You know what I mean? You don't want to use too much different stuff. That's not. I mean, you can try whatever you want, right? But you might want to mix it. Like you might take a coconut rum, and put it with that, and then you got a 2-part different type of liquor that goes in it. You know what I mean?
So it's like an upgraded Alizé, because Alizé only really go with Hindu.
No, yeah, but you can do this. You know, I'm not going to tell you can use whatever type of drink you want. Just follow what we put out there for now, and then you test your limits, right? So my man JD, he only want a shot right now.
I'm gonna see what you want.
Okay, so let's put some ice in it.
Let's try the shot first. You know what I mean? Let's all try a small shot first, and then we'll taste what makes it taste good.
So I put a shot in there, not much. You tell me what you think about that. You know what I mean?
He said not much. This dude heavy-handed in the mug, y'all.
That's not a shot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get rid of the ice in here. And then we want to do the shot.
I'm gonna go give y'all a shot. I got like this much of
it goes down well, right?
You
gotta watch the big
success.
slap.
Toast of success and progress. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh. I'm not bullshitting y'all.
Okay.
Y'all know the banana now, ladies?
Facts.
Do you all remember that?
How you come up with that quick?
That's what this tastes like smooth like a motherfucker. And we ain't
Wes,
just saying
I got you, bro.
because it's our new sponsor. This shit is...
Yo, you know I used to put the now ladies in the oven, let them melt a little bit? If you let them all melt down like a 10-pack, yo, that's what that tastes like.
we on
now
one.
layers.
We on one. Go out and get this, man. I'm trying to tell you right
So
now.
let's do this right now. I'm gonna do the ice, right?
And listen, special guests, man, we're going to have bottles on deck. So
Oh yeah, this is coming. Don't worry about that. We got that.
DM us, man. We might ship you a
Official
bottle for
sponsors.
free, man. Like, for real.
Official sponsors, y'all hear that?
We got you, right? We're gonna do a little bit of that.
Now here go the drink that's typically made with this. This is,
Yes.
It's from Brazil, right?
From Brazil. This is imported from Brazil.
And we're brand new, right?
Brand straight in the new. Not even 4 months in. 2 years in the making.
You heard how
what
we
I mean?
said we. Yeah,
About-
we
about-
part of
about
this.
4 months in. You know what I mean? My hands are clean, fellas. Don't worry about the juice.
I ain't worried about it.
We're gonna put a little bit of lime or lemon in there. You know what I mean?
What's that now? Lime?
Lime and lemon, whichever one
Okay.
you choose. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a little bit of both.
Take it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's definitely some banana pudding
That's-
joint right
hey,
there.
that tastes excellent.
Yeah.
Wipe my hands off, you know what I
I
mean?
ain't gassing it.
We're gonna put a little bit of that in there.
Yo, y'all like a little bit version?
See, I don't got that. I don't got that tipper.
yeah,
They ain't got the bar tipper on it yet. We got you though. I mean,
Yeah, I love
did I put
it,
something in
man.
mine?
Man, give me none.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna give you a little bit more. You want to get drunk tonight?
Okay.
There we go. Let's move that to the side. Let's get that out of the way.
You always got your thirst.
Let's get some ginger ale.
Ginger ale go with anything.
Y'all heard it, right? Lemon. That was lime, right?
Lemon, lime.
Lemon,
It's all from the same family.
with the ginger ale. Y'all see it, right? Bananas liquor.
Let me give my man JD a little bit more. My man Skizzo.
It tastes smooth with the shot. I can imagine how this tastes.
That's
Yeah.
gonna taste real good.
Yo, this is definitely something, hey fellas, man, something to have with your lady
Shake
friend,
that up.
man. Like, that's definitely something you can have with
Let's
your
do
lady
another toast to
friend,
that right
man.
quick.
Another toast, man.
Blessings, fellas.
Where we
Blessings,
going
man.
with it, man? Where we
How
going
long?
with this?
How
Yo,
long with
hey.
Masculine Covered you been doing this, JD?
We've been doing it like 9 months now, man.
Yeah.
Masculine Covered 9
But
months.
tonight is for real.
Yeah.
There ain't no hobby no
Yeah.
more.
Turning it over,
His official support, his official sponsors, his official money coming.
Let's go,
Right?
man.
Let's get
Touch
it.
that, Skizzo.
Yep. Shit, y'all better get on board now. Yo. Hey.
You might need a little bit more banana.
Nah, this right here is
Mine was excellent. I don't
this
know
is
what
the,
you did
this
with
the
yours.
type of drink that
I mean, you know, any drink you gotta adjust it to your liking, but this is a success,
nah,
man.
but know what
And-
this do? Go ahead.
Nah, this is a success, man, and you'll drink it yourself and know we're not bullshitting. Like, this is a success.
That's that sneak up on you drink right
Yeah,
there.
facts.
It's too smooth.
Yes, smooth.
Like a wine cooler.
Ooh.
So that's the bananas, man. You know what I mean? So it's been 2 years in the making. You know what I mean? My longtime business partner, Wes Da Silva.
Yeah,
Wes,
shout
what
out
up?
them
Shout out to
Shout
Brazil,
them
you know
out.
what I mean?
What's up,
Shout out
Wes?
to you.
What's in
Shout
the
out
bank,
to-
Wes?
shout out
I'm
to
stopping it.
partnerships. You know what I mean? Shout out to sponsorships. I love you. You know what I mean? We're going to keep it going. 2023, 2024 and beyond. Let's get it.
Let them know where this vision started with. Like, I know Wes, he'll be on. Actually, he's a majority owner.
He's a majority on
He'll
it.
be on the show
He's
tonight. He
majority.
couldn't make it, man.
Yeah.
Good man, good friend. But was this in the making, or was this a surprise to you, or you guys knew this was?
Nah, man, you know, so basically, man, you know, since about the last, I'm going to say since like 2006, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I ran into a solid dude, you know what I mean? And we partnered up and we made things happen, you know what I mean? And we forward. Our whole vision has been forward, you know what I mean? And so, you know, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, he was like, yo, I got this opportunity to potentially, you know, start importing, you know, liquor. And I'm like, what? And he was like, yo, it's a process and it's expensive, but I'm going to dive into it. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? And he was like, okay. So, you know, he's straight business. You know what I mean? And from a business standpoint, you know what I mean? Like, he make moves and he got connections, and then he's always bringing me in. You know what I mean? He's never keeping me out. You know what I mean? Of the circle. So, you know what I mean? So he started working on it, and there was no questions. Like, it was all on the low. And you know, 2 years ago, he was like, yo, we moving forward with that. I'm like, okay, let's just keep on going. What do we need? We're like, yo, I'm just working behind the scenes on everything, getting the connections and, you know what I mean, making the contacts, making the business connections. And It was money involved, obviously. You know what I mean. It was international connections. It was uh, domestic connections. You know what I mean. And it was just a long process, man. It was licensing, and it was, you know, uh, transport and import and export, fees and businesses and licenses and.
So you needed your driver's license?
You
No.
need
No.
who put Wes on? Like, how did Wes fall? How did he fall into Wes's life?
It just, man, it's so he's big back in his country. You know what I mean? Like he's known.
That's Brazil,
like,
right?
Brazil. You know what I mean? Like he got international connections like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the Brazilian community is big here in the States. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't know, you should know.
Shoot, all them
here,
BBLs y'all watching, y'all should know how Brazil.
And here in Massachusetts is another huge Brazilian community.
True.
And just the connections, man, just knowing people and meeting people, you know what I mean, and being a solid business person, man, and things just happened and things just fell into place, you know what I mean? And
see, you being a little secretive. There's a partner, right? He got over there in Brazil, right?
No, not really, man. Honestly, like, no, man, just
serious?
Just people he grew up with, just people he knew, man. You know what I mean? Like, we have connections here with entertainers, local entertainers.
Yeah.
He got connections with local entertainers over there, people who do shows, local artists who are performing and doing things and doing shows.
So is he the sole owner of this?
No, he's not the sole.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
There's probably there's a few people involved. You know what I mean, in the whole process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But,
okay.
So you got to have connections, right? You just can't say because he got to have people that he trusts in Brazil, right? To make sure when he make the call that things getting shipped out like they should. You know what I mean? And then he got to make sure that it arrive. Import like it should to places it need to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they got to be people to make sure this product is here. You know what I mean? And then he might need to take a flight. He might ask me, I need to do something. You know what I mean? So, no, it's a whole big operation. It ain't a small operation. You know what I mean?
And it's new. It's brand new.
It's brand new.
So this is still trial and error.
I don't think it's trial and error. I think the era's over. I think it's, you know what I mean? I think, you know what I mean? I think,
Talk to him, man.
You know what I mean? There ain't no trial and error. You know what I mean? It's all,
the finished product.
Yeah, the finished product.
So we on one.
Yeah, we on one.
Let me ask you a question now. This still sticking with what you're talking about, but when you look at it, you said, like, of course, he's got connections with some local people that's doing big things. Did you find being behind the scenes or being a part of this, just seeing how the operation worked, that they worked well together and you don't see that here in the States? Like, in other words, like, we know artists, we know certain people that have different venues of doing things, and it's kind of hard for us to kind of connect and, do something together. Did you find that same challenge with him? Did he ever express that to you? Was it easy going for him to connect with people? Or is that just a mindset that you think that Americans have, that we can't connect, we can't do things together?
Honestly, man, I think it's about trust, man. You know what I mean? Like, so for more than anything, right? Trust, and it comes with being upfront and open, right? So most Americans, and I'll speak about this to me and my people and experiences I've had. You know what I mean? It's almost like we don't trust each other.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So so for some reason, you know what I mean, I got to worry about if me and you partnered up, right? If us three right here, we partnered up on one venture, right? And I decide to go and do another partnership somewhere else, that somehow got to affect what us three do. It shouldn't have to be like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if I go and so long as I'm bringing what I'm supposed to bring to the table for you
This
and
venture.
him for this venture, right?
Yeah.
You can't because I go venture off into something else. It has no bearing on what we're doing here.
Right,
I'm still, JD. Did you say that you want 15% and we agreed to that? Did you want 15? Whatever that percentage might be, right?
No, I agree.
Don't go. So that's the problem I see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I see when other when I go into these ventures and I do things for people, if I decide to whatever percentage or whatever agreement that we make, he can venture off and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just a trust issue, right? It's about connecting with our people, right? And understanding that everything we do is residual. So why can't you get residual income from 7 different places?
Right.
Right? If you working with me on one, well, we got 2, then you could go. You go work with 3 other people, Jay. That's fine. it might be something that you need to bring me in on anyways.
And then in addition, if you expand your brand somewhere else, that could actually enhance our brand in another level, some way, somehow.
Facts.
Like for instance, like if you're doing a big liquor opening or whatever, you might bring Mask Uncovered to be there to shoot the actual opening.
Yes.
So things can happen together.
Absolutely.
So I definitely agree, man.
You know what I mean?
Like,
So this is the platform, right? And I've been talking to him about this, right? Skiz know me, you know, we work together.
It's all brand new, y'all.
You know what
Like
I mean?
I said, special
So,
edition.
and that's just not the only one, right? So, you know, what I mean, this is just something that I decided to do. It was brought to me. I decided I want to get in. You know what I mean? And this is where it's at. You know what I mean? Now, listen, do I see a lot from it? No. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's new. You know what I mean? It's not, but it's something, right? You know what I mean? I got something to bring to the table. I want. You know what I mean? You know, this is not music industry type. This is street level. This is somebody you know that we grew up together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Who got something, who promoting something, who's a part of something that, you know what I mean? I want to bring my people with me, you know what I mean?
Right.
And once again, I'm not talking about the neighborhood. I'm talking about the community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm talking
Big
about
difference.
It's a big difference, you know what I mean? Like 20 years ago, we were talking about the hood. What hood? No. Where's my community at? You know what I mean? I want to bring the people in for my community in. You know what I mean? So, you know, if I succeed, we succeed. You know what I mean? There is no I, there's we. Where we at? We together. Where you at? No, it's we. It's we. You know what I mean? So,
because to make this a success, we're gonna need the community.
we
man.
need
Go out
people.
and
You know what
buy
I mean?
this. Like,
we need people. So if you support me, you know what I mean? And if most of y'all know me, right? You know, I have a big heart, right? So I help whenever I can and how much I can. You know what I mean? So the more that I get, the more that I give. You know what I mean? If I receive, I give.
and it's a great product too, man. It's nice, it's smooth. With the shot, with the drink he just showed you guys, I mean, you have to experience yourself. So please go out and get it. At least trust us, man. Just buy the bottle, man. Is it high end? I mean, like I said, we're new to this, so we're asking questions too. Because today it's dropped in our lap, man, for a sponsorship. You know what I mean? So, is it expensive? Are they all the same? Are they different types?
So no, there's just this one type, right? Yeah. So there's just that one.
Yep.
It's exclusive rights. You know what I mean? The cost, I might tell you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You go to the liquor store and you buy a bottle, it might be $22, $23, depending on where you go, right? If you go buy a bottle of Hennessy in the hood, it might be $37.
Right.
You might go somewhere else, it might be $45. You know what I mean? So I can't really put the price on what the stores, you know, is going to charge the consumers, but I've seen it $22, $23 an hour in places. You know what I mean?
And that's the only size, right? There's no.
That's
price,
the only size. That's the only
okay.
size right now. You know, that's the only size I've seen come in. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Now back to something real quick, like how Skiz was saying, it's kind of dropped or fell on our laps, right? Like you said, you've been on a few podcasts with us and what have you, and had opportunity to speak on a bunch of things, and like how working together. If y'all need to go back and watch some of the podcasts that Big Kim was on, and never have I even heard a word about you even speaking about something in the works. So this being in the works for the last couple of years, few years, was that important to you to keep this close to the vest and just wanted to see it succeed first, or was it a conscious decision to like not speak to what you have going on? Because a lot of people start to say, okay, this is what I got going on, and people steal your ideas, or people start talking bad about you. Mm-hmm. So in your case, like you said, I found out about this hours ago. I'm like, wow, what going on? So was that important to you? Like, was that a conscious decision? And if so, why?
Well, you know, so I've always been kind of mellow, you know what I mean, and kept things close to my chest, you know what I mean.
Not to interrupt, but before you answer that, I think you need to go through your history of who you are. You've been on the show, and you've commented on different things, but no one really knows who you are. Like, they don't know. Like, you started from the mud where everybody else is from, and you got it. You started hard work, and you got it. You ventured off with partners and all sorts of other business opportunities, and you got it. Mm-hmm. So let them know, like, you not new to streets, the boardroom,
Yeah,
to manual labor.
Facts.
Like you've never introduced who you really was. So maybe you want to briefly
Okay.
go
So-
over who you are and
So
how you started.
yeah. So that's a good point, man. You know, I'm glad you asked that question, man, because you know I went back right a few years ago. You know, not even a few years ago, but I'll go back a few years, and I really asked myself, you know what I mean, like be truthful to who you really are. You know what I mean, like what drives you, like what motivates you to be the person that you are. And I asked myself to go back to a time when I thought that I was my most innocent, you know what I mean? And I was just being pure to myself, you know what I mean? And I found that being when I was about 15, 16 years old, you know what I mean? And when I had no ill feelings and no ill thoughts, when I was just a young man playing sports, you know what I mean, part-time and work and doing what I had to do, you know what I mean? And my hard work ethic came from being raised by a single mother, you know what I mean? My father came into my life and taught me and my brothers, you know what I mean, some trades and some skills, you know what I mean? So I learned the hard work ethic, you know what I mean, at a young age, you know what I mean? And being sports taught me how to be, you know, a team player, you know what I mean, and to just be open and diverse to different things. So my travels have been very well versed in the trades and the skills and everything like that. By trade, I'm a skillsman, right? I'm an HVAC tech. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. That's what I do for a living. You know what I mean? So at some point, you know what I mean, you know, young man growing up in the inner city, grew up in, you know, Dorchester, you know, Roxbury, ended up in the P, you know what I mean? But I always stayed focused, you know what I mean? And I was kind of grounded too, you know what I mean? Like, you know, my dogs kept me grounded, my boys, you know what I mean? We stayed tight. But so that's that part of it. Worked, young man, trade, grew up, you know what I mean? Came up in the hood, dealt with everything hood, you know what I mean? Just like everybody else.
Say, tell them, we
You know
took
what I
you
mean?
to the highest level
Yeah, listen.
at every point
Yeah.
of our life. Like when we was in the street,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
shit, you might not know, but we
Yeah.
was doing it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Wasn't in
Like,
that bullshit.
yeah, like I was in the streets, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I survived the streets just like everybody else, you know what I mean? I played those street games.
Got money.
I played those hood games just like everybody played, you know what I mean? Got money, you know what I mean? Made money, made mistakes, you know what I mean? Corrected my mistakes, you know what I mean? I got to give a shout out to my wife because she stayed solid with me, you know what I mean? 36, 37 years in with that.
Yeah, shout out to that. That's a
you know what I
blessing
mean?
in itself.
So,
man.
you
Shout
know
out
what
to
I'm
that.
saying?
So, you know what I
a blessing.
mean? So I gotta give a shout out to that. You know what I mean? So the whole realm of it, right? No in between, right? From A to Z, I've been there. You know what I mean? So,
Right. So okay, we ain't
so
gonna
there's
go
another
to the hood.
point. Yeah,
we
so-
out the hood now.
so-
So we ain't gonna go.
But what
to
really
that.
drove me, just so y'all know, right? Just so y'all understand that I had to pray to the Almighty God, you know,
Yeah, man.
a long time ago, and something really, really bad happened in my family, and He answered my prayers. And when He answered my prayers, I told Him I would never go back to that side again, and I kept that commitment to Him, and He's been blessing me ever since. So I made a commitment that when I went to the workforce, I was going to be truthful and honest about my past to anybody who asked, right? And even if they didn't, I was just going to open up. And that's what I did. And I've been blessed ever since. And in that journey, I've met a lot of nice people who've blessed me, you know what I mean? Who've understood me as an individual, as a black man. You know what I mean? I stay on my ground. I stand up for black people. I stand up for the rights of my people. I fight for my people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've been blessed. And it's got me to that point with the people outside of my community that I've met. And that's what brings me to this point today. You know what I mean? So to get back to JD's point of those things like that.
And that was brief, y'all, because
Right.
shit,
That was brief,
that
you know what I mean?
Right.
So to get back to JD's question of that, so I just kept it close to the heart, you know what I mean? Because it was just something that was in the works, you know what I mean?
Good.
And something that was serious, you know what I mean? And once again, it just didn't involve me. Like, it involved other entities, you know what I mean? Other people involved in a whole group in a circle of people to make this thing happen, you know what I mean? And sometimes it was just coming to me for advice. It wasn't asking me, you know what I mean, whether we're going to do this or not. It was just, what do you think? You know what I mean?
Right.
And and that's the blessing that, you know what I mean, that I have, you know what I mean, in this friendship that I have, in this partnership that I have, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean. Sometimes he just make moves, you know what I mean, like
We're
he
talking West.
yeah, we talk
majority
we talk
owner
we
of
talking
West.
majority
Remember
on
that
the West.
name.
He just makes moves, you know what I mean. He don't ask me, you know what I mean. He just go through and then he say, "Ken, this is what I got going on, and here's what we stand," you know what I mean, and that's what it is, you know what I mean.
He go get it.
And he go get it, you know what I mean, and he make things happen, and you know what I mean. So I just been fortunate, I've been blessed, you know what I mean, to meet the right people, you know what I mean, and have them in my life.
And it's a blessing. And for those youth out here watching this is a black man, a minority owner in a liquor that's striving right now, man. The potential is unlimited, man. I don't know if you know what that means. Some of you younger kids, like being a partner in something like this is bigger than, man, going to get a key of Coke or banging on the block. Like, man, you can make it and still be cool, swagged out like Skizzo, Hollywood Skiz. It's still cool to be us, man. Shit, like we still men, man. Shit, but we're bringing it to you a different way, man. Like we're getting it a different way. No risk involved, man. I ain't going to jail for fucking sponsoring no liquor. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, them sponsoring us. Like, we ain't no jail time in that. So, that just a lesson out there, man. You can see we're in your community. Most of the people who watch this show are part of our community.
And if you know me, you know me, right? If you know Kenneth, if you know K Flip, you know me, right? You might say, "Oh, I know him from that." You know what I mean? Just approach me, walk up to me. You know what I mean? Say something to me like, "This is not the entertainment business. I'm not no rapper. I'm not no singer. I'm not out there like this. Is somebody you know from your same community, not your hood. You know what I mean? From the community that we grew up in. You know what I mean? That got love for you. You know what I mean? And I want you to have the same thing for me. You know what I mean? There's no ill feelings. There's no nothing. You know." The two people beside me here, I've been known for 30 plus years too, you know what I mean? So this is all, you know what I mean? This is all, you know what I mean? One family, you know what I mean? One community trying to do one goal, you know what I mean? We want our youth to follow us, to use us as examples of what you should do.
Now, with that said, too, right? Because this is major. Like, we going somewhere deep. Now, mind you, we don't play in this shit out. Like, we really just talking to y'all right now, right? So I'm looking and I'm thinking, like you said, like, you know, we 30 plus in, what have you. And I'm looking at how Skiz just said, we sitting up here selling liquor, bumper kid, coke, or what have you. Promoting liquor, what have you. Being on the right side of the law. Now, being youngsters, we knew it was those three things: sports, drugs, and entertainment.
Talk about it.
So even though we knew lawyers and doctors and some people knew of dentists or what have you, but like the business realm and the inner city was those three items. Like, this is how you get out together. This is how you get out the hood. Mm-hmm. And where you could see people from your neighborhood, people from the inner city that are now anything other than, and they're promoting that, you would want to support that. Like, I remember it was horrible to see, because I'm looking at that from the neighborhood or what have you. I have a college education. I have a degree, 2 degrees actually, but either way. So I went to school, right? But I recall at some points in time where it was like, I don't want to say felt ashamed, but like, it wasn't braggadocious. It wasn't something that, you know, you couldn't come back to the hood and be like, "Yo, look, y'all, I got a degree." It was like, it's like, yeah, like you couldn't be celebrated in the hood saying, "Yo, look how, I finally did it. Like, look at this degree." And people's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, congratulations," throw a cookout. No, it was kind of like you just felt like you had to stay under the realm. Mm-hmm. And it was the cat that just did 10 years in the pen, that when he came home, "Yo, let's celebrate this cat." Like, "Yo, he just did 10 in the pen." Like, "Yo, this is the cat." So I think that narrative has changed so much. Not as much as I would like to have seen it change, but this is just a prime example of how different it is now, when we could have somebody sitting here just saying, like, "Dog, this dude's a minority or owner of a liquor." Like, dog, like, let's just say, it's like, yo, it's like, it's so hard we got to keep saying it, because these cats in the neighborhood now, like people that are watching this, are typically our friends, are the people that we grew up with, people that are going to see this, and even if it sparks one person that's going to say, "Damn, like there's another option. Like I don't have to go get a quarter bag of weed or 8 ball or whatever it may be. There's other avenues that you could attack, man. That's just a blessing, man. Like each one teach one, like you said. Like once you made that commitment, I don't want to say in your own words, but once you made that prayer, what have you, because I'm a God fearing man, definitely, and you know, to to take that and then continue to promote something positive. That's why I love doing this podcast. That's why I love being a part of it. That's why I love promoting that stuff. It's like because we want to bring people in that went through those negative issues, went through bad times, what have you, but look at the outcome. Look at what they're doing today. We're not sitting up here talking to somebody that got bagged for 10 crack rocks and like now he's up to a half a key and he's on the podcast. Right. Nah, we talking about cats that might have did 10 in the pen, but today they're running a whole football league. Stuff like that. That's what we're doing. So we're trying to show you guys that what we didn't have, or at least I can speak for myself, what I didn't have, what I didn't see growing up in the neighborhood was somebody that looked like me, somebody that grew up in the neighborhood like me. They were saying, look at what I did to turn my life around and look what I have.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Lessons.
So just to reiterate on what you said, right? So just so what he said about going to college, having 2 degrees, right? When I was back then, when JD was going to college, guess who was out there supporting him? Like, yo, we gonna support him 1,000%. No, JD, you go to college. If anybody have something to say, have them tell me. Say it to me, and I'm gonna support you. You know why? Because I wanted that. I wanted you or brothers like you to go to college and get degrees. You know what I mean? So that's what we need to see and hear, right? And promote to our young black men and women in the communities. You know what I mean?
Not me. I said, get that nigga a pack, man. Fuck out of here.
You know what I mean?
Fuck school,
so,
nigga.
So he's right. But in a sense, somebody like me was like, nah, man, JD, yo, you go to school, bro. You know what I mean? Nah, go get that degree. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you ain't. You ain't supposed to be out here with us. If you get out of here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, nah, you go to school. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that was supposed to be. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. You know what I mean? So that's why he could be here today, entrepreneur himself, running a podcast. You know what I mean? Because he have the skill set. He have the intellect. He have the education to know what it takes to keep moving on and pass on that knowledge to future generations. You know what I mean? To the young men and women behind us to do these things. You know what I mean? So education is key. Whether you like it or you don't, whether you know it or you don't, education is key.
You know what's key to me? That I've realized being yourself is one of the hardest things to do nowadays. Because where you come from, where we come from, they perceive you as you think you got to be a drug dealer. You got to bang on niggas. You're from this block. You got to wear this hat. And the majority of people around you are doing that. So once you venture out on finding who you are and you become who you are, it's hard because it's so different. It's so different than what everybody else is doing from where you come from, that most people won't do it because they don't want to take that chance. They don't want to be looked upon as soft. They don't want to be looked upon as weird. You know what I mean? They don't want to go a different direction. Everyone wants to go the same direction. And the majority of you motherfuckers should be who you are. Because you're not that. You know what I mean? Like, it's 60 niggas in the hood. All 60 of you niggas is toughest, roughest, gang banging this mother. No, nigga, 49 of you motherfuckers should be in college. 30, you know what I'm saying? You should be working. Like, come on, man. Stop being scared of yourself, man.
And honestly, right? You all have the intellect to be doing that anyways. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, I tell a lot of youth, I've been saying this for the last 5 to 10 years, right? And I probably should have been saying it longer, but it was just me growing too. Why would you want to do the wrong things in life first? Why would you as a young teenager, 12, 13, 14-year-old, want to go out there and do criminal things first? You haven't even tried to do the right things in life first. Try to do the right things first. Go to school, get an education, right? Graduate from high school, go to college, right? Sign up to do other things that are positive. Learn a trade. Go get a job first. And if all else fails and you have to tough it out, then and maybe then it might be okay, or people might understand your plight
Right.
or your travels. But you want to be a criminal at 14 first? You haven't even done the right things in life first.
Yo, I'm gonna say something. I wanted y'all opinion on this, right? Listen to this, because it's something I just thought of, right? The hardest thing to do is to be yourself. Growing up, I would say no. But listen what I was gonna say. The hardest thing to do in the world, I feel, in the inner city, growing up, is to be yourself. The easiest thing to do in the world is to be yourself.
Yes.
So look at that dynamic.
Yep.
Yes.
Look at that dynamic.
Oh, shit.
Like real talk. That's what. So that's
Say
why I
that
said.
one more time,
So that's
though,
why I was
bro.
like, yeah. That's why I said. Let me finish. Trust me, because I was listening to what you said,
Fuck all that.
and you're
Say
right.
that again.
The hardest thing to do, especially in the inner city, that's where I'm from. This is where I grew up, is to be yourself. Typically, we walk around and who I am, who I want to be, what I traditionally want to look like, the way I want to be. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to be my environment. My environment says, do this. My environment says, this is what looks good. This is what feels good. So if I never even wanted to drink and I'm 12, 13 years old and somebody cracks a 40 ounce and you sitting on the block and they like, this is cool, this is the thing to do. The hardest thing for me to do is say, no. Like, it's hard to be yourself. But
Verse that.
the whole thing about the world is when you become you, now that's tapping into what you said. The easiest thing to do in the world is to be yourself. Like, as long as I live my life, like, if I am who I am supposed to be, if I stand on my own too, this is who I am. I don't care about what everybody else says. That's the easiest path for somebody to actually go through.
Yes.
So that's a double dynamic, man. That's tough to do.
Because the hardest thing, like I said, to do in the hood is be yourself, because you make it hard yourself to be who you really are. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be yourself if you let yourself be yourself. You want to go all these other directions, and nigga, now you turn like you want to follow a motherfucker. You have no heart to follow. You want to go slang drugs, gang bang, shoot. Now your man dead, your other man dead. Now you in a war. Now you got bang back. Now you got caught up with a key. Now you got to testify. That's now. Wasn't it the easiest thing to be you, Joey Nerdy? Go to school. 12 years of school, 4 more years of college. Like, wasn't that easier? Your mother and father buying you Jordans. You young niggas don't really got to hustle. Your mother's buying you all the sneakers you need. You just doing it for the like of it. And then when you fall into it, then it gets real serious.
I don't think it's
yourself.
that easy. I mean,
Be
what you're
yourself.
saying is right. Like, you find out, they always say hindsight's 20/20, right? Like, so if you knew then what you know now, that typically is not going to happen. So the more we teach these young cats, it's okay to be yourself. Hopefully somebody pay attention and grasp that. Like, somebody
That's all I
will.
wanted to do.
Right, because
That's all I wanted to do.
I don't want to gloss over the fact that it's easier path in your life to be yourself, right? But I don't want to gloss over the fact that how hard it is to be yourself, especially in the inner city.
Right.
There's nowhere in the world.
I hope we're not
People-
confusing y'all.
I know, right? This is deep,
we
man.
not-
We done went somewhere that we, like I said, we kicking it.
Because I'm prime. I'm someone who wasn't myself for a little while.
Facts.
The difference is, though, I stood tall and being this new person, you know what I mean? I done sold it all, crossed state lines with coke, all that shit. I done got shot at, shot back, nigga. Stood tall, didn't tell. I did all that, but it wasn't me. No one even looked at me as that. That wasn't me. Me was, I wanted to go to school, play ball, go to college.
Well, it's
Like,
not that you
was
wanted
me.
to do that. You did do all of those things. You know what I mean?
But not that
but-
he wanted to, he did it. And I'll stand up. I was one that stole a peanut butter and jelly sandwich when I didn't have to. No, like I ain't gonna go down that line. But in fact, though, staying with that, how easy was it for you to fall into that realm of, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, so this is what I'm going to do, right? So now, the great thing about you being the man that you are today, that you can stand on your own too, is that not only did you know that you shouldn't have been doing those things, but when you got into it, you said, all right, I'm 110 in, and I'm going to just stand on that. Right. How many people, once you see all the ratting going on in the industry, whatever, bump it off. Once somebody gets caught not being them, what's the first thing they're going to do? Is retort back to who they are. Yeah. They're going to always say, okay, listen, I wasn't built to do this. Bobby told me to do this. Bobby's the one who gave me this. Like, so, because they was 6'9", for instance. He was never built like that. And he started doing stuff, maybe a bad example, but either way, he started doing stuff. And the first thing he did was, he was like, okay, well, I'm this nerd dude. These boys put me up to it, and I'm snitching on all of them. Mm-hmm. So I don't want these young cats to think that just because we're sitting there saying it, that it's going to be easy to walk out your door and be like, oh, I got a book bag full of books, and like now it's going to be easy to sit in the park and read books. It's not that easy. But just know that there's another way. Right. You know, like you don't always have to. People find themselves in a car with a gun in a car that somebody done shot at somebody a minute ago because that's your boy. He said, let's go for a ride. So it's a lot of dumb stuff doesn't happen. So all we're saying is that somebody take heed. And it started with that blessing that you was talking about, man. Like, yo, it sparked something with me, man. I'm like, dog, that's so real. And I love these type of conversations, man. Right. But
so there's a couple of points to that, right? For me, and it's just my opinion, right? So any individual, I feel like if you're an individual, right, and you stand up and you speak up for yourself, it's how you carry yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So if I walk out my house and I'm going to school, right, and I got to walk past the cats that are out there on the streets, listen, man, I'm just going to school, man. I'm not trying to interfere with what y'all are doing, and just don't interfere with what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. And just speak honestly like that. And just leave me alone. Like, I'm not messing with you, right? Nah. Okay, so just let me go to school and come home.
But you know it's not.
No, but I'm saying, right? But yeah, I'm trying to say that, right? I'm going to say that, right? Yeah. And at the same time, now, they could take that for good or for bad.
Right.
What you're saying is, some cats are going to take that for bad and keep testing me. Now, you're going to pull me out of my character, right? You know what I mean? At some point in time to do something that I don't want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, you're right. It's not easy in the hood.
Right.
It's not easy for young men to be yourself in the city. And on the other hand, it is easy to be yourself in the, right? Because all you got to do is just speak up and just say, listen, that's not me.
Just let
you know what I mean? Just let yourself be yourself. Listen, and if the people who are messing with you don't understand it, right? You just be consistent with who you are.
And this is what being yourself can get you.
That's it. You know what I mean?
And you can't get this being someone else.
And this is what being yourself can get you. You know what I mean? You walk out of that same building. You walk past those same cats, right? And they left you alone. Once they understood what JD was all about. Just, no, that's JD, man. Leave him alone, man. He got nothing to do with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when other cats come through, man, we don't never see, man, he ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
You know what's funny? Not what's funny, but something that just came to mind. You know, we're talking to the right people when we're saying like these youth, like they need to figure out like who they are and rolling at. Mm-hmm. But you know what a conversation really need to be to? Is those other cats that's about to use the F word, but I know my mom and them, like we're church going folks, be effing with them. So in other words, let's talk to those cats. Yo, when you see these young cats that's really not involved with the streets or don't want to be involved with the streets, leave them alone.
Yeah, leave them alone.
Like yo,
facts.
You know the cats that's down with you all and want to run those street lanes, what have you. Deal with those cats. Leave those other punk cats alone. Leave them other little nerd cats alone. Yeah. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Then when they tell on you, it's their fault.
Right. It's their fault. Right, and y'all done beat them to go into the...
Yeah.
And what's crazy is like, in the hood, we all know them. And this is across every city. I'm not talking about our inner city, what have you. Every inner city, the cat that's nice in basketball, what the drug dealers do, buy them sneakers, buy them shoes. pay for their tournament fees and all this. Oh, they're going to support this cat because he's sports, drugs, entertainment, right? The rapper, okay, I got a studio for you, whatever. But the nerd cat, the cat that don't want to be bothered with y'all, you want to kick him in his butt, push him down a flight of stairs and all this stuff because he wanted to. Why not just leave this cat alone? That's what we need to be having a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because
just leave those dudes alone. Why you messing with the dudes who's not bothering you? Like
strength and numbers.
Yeah.
Niggas don't give a fuck what kind of nigga you are. They just want to come in spots deep. A bunch of niggas who ain't gonna do nothing. But it's perception. If I see you with 30 niggas, like I'm gonna think different. You know what I mean? Even though 28 of them niggas won't bust a fruit in a motherfucking. How do you say that? Won't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Yeah, like that, but niggas don't understand.
Wine vineyard.
But we ain't gonna get all into that because we always get carried away with that because that's where we're from. So it's always gonna take us a little extra. Take us extra trying to speak to our youth about where we came from. But
and that's what we should be doing anyways, right? Like, so we came from somewhere, you know what I mean? We've been through that, and the point of the matter is that we want to reach our youth, right? We want to reach the young men and women out there, you know what I mean? And talk about the good things, you know what I mean? That you should be doing, you know what I mean? We want to guide you right, you know what I mean? So you're not making bad decisions as young men and women, you know what I mean? So that's part of what our responsibility is, anyways, as older men, you know, in the community that we come from, is to teach one, you know what I mean? Reach one, teach one, you know what I mean?
Now we have the avenue to push. Like this liquor is not just us three. We're trying to push it on our community. Like you said, not our neighborhood, man. We're looking for a local artist or something who maybe we could push with this brand. You know what I mean? Like we're looking out now for who can carry us, man. Like
exactly, you know what I mean?
Come on, we're trying to
give help
back
you.
now.
You know what I mean? To help, you know, the community, help family. You know what I mean? If I can help one person, you know what I mean, be better, make better decisions in life. You know what I mean? I'll be thankful for that. You know what I mean? If I can help 5 people, you know what I mean? 5 different families, you know, be better people. You know what I mean in life. And look, it's an alcohol we selling, right? And this is for adult entertainment only. Like this is not for you young people out there to be going out there talking about doing these things. If you're going to consume alcohol, be an adult. You know what I mean? When you're an adult consuming alcohol, you be responsible. But this is what adulthood is about. You know what I mean? It's about being responsible, you know what I mean, for the decisions that we make. So, you know what I mean? This is not pushing a product on, you know, underage people to be doing things you shouldn't be doing. This is about pushing, you know, not pushing, but promoting products
and drinking
responsibly.
Like when you drink, I recommend you drink the whole bottle and drive home fast so you don't have an accident on this bullshit.
Yo, and I want y'all to understand too, we're from Boston, Mass, but when we say our community is everywhere.
Exactly.
Our community, trust me, there's somebody sitting in Chicago, New York, Texas, Georgia.
Right.
Exact same people.
Facts.
Exact same situations.
Facts. Yep.
Same people that grew up with different things, and some did 10 in the pen, and some did 5 years in college, whatever it is. So our community is all of us. We need to continue to work together. And somebody watch this in Georgia and say, listen, I got something popping off. Let's connect. And this is what our platform is for. Also, DM, hit us up on Masculine Uncovered Podcast. Leave comments. And we're doing this thing together. We can only grow together. Like when I said, this is grassroots. You always got to start grassroots. But our community is all of us.
Yes.
You know, we're trying to prosper.
Yes. And remember one thing, like I said, this is his first time hearing about this, and this is his second time hearing about this. Like I told him about this, like listen, this is what is in the works, like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And it came to fruition. So, you know, this is not something planned.
He was hating on you then.
This wasn't planned, you know what I mean? This wasn't something like I hit him up like, yo, he's like, yo, what you doing tonight? I'm like, yo, I'm free. He was like, yo, you want to come through? I'm like, all right, I'll come through and we'll talk about what we're doing, you know what I mean? So, and it's about we, you know what I mean? It's not about me, you know what I mean? This is about we, you know what I mean? So,
well, enough of that, man. Shit. Back to the podcast, man. We're going to talk about these motherfucking NBA playoffs.
We might as well end
real quick, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's a special edition, but there's some games going out here. going on out here. We got some opinions about what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, like who y'all like right now? Like, cause we got
Who you like?
obviously we ain't gotta go through all the series. So you got the Bucks. You know, I mean the East is crazy. So you know the Bucks Heat. I'm so glad that we didn't have to face the Heat. Boston is where I represent. So Boston had to face the Heat. You know what I mean? Sixers, Nets, Cavs, Knicks. That's a nice one there. So that's the East. The West, you got Denver versus Minnesota. You got Memphis versus the Lakers. You got Sacramento versus Golden State. And then Phoenix Suns versus the Clippers. Like, so.
But briefly, man, we're going to exclude some of these series which we know is going to be over. Milwaukee, well, Giannis is...
Giannis back.
He's back, but he's back, right? He'll be back next game, I think, right?
They don't know. It's questionable.
Well, if he ain't back, that's an interesting series because obviously Milwaukee can still win. They just blew the motherfuckers out without Giannis. So that one's up in the air, actually, so I can't write that one off. But I think we can write the Boston series off, even though they lost tonight. I don't see them losing another game. My opinion, with Atlanta.
Philly
the
ain't
Sixers series, that's almost over.
Yeah.
So we ain't really got to talk too much about those. Clippers now, man, Kawhi Leonard's down. It's not just Paul George down now. So even though them boys gave them motherfuckers a hell of a game the other night, man, with
Westbrook.
No, it wasn't even Westbrook illing that much out there. It was,
well, he did. He dropped 30-something the other night.
Wasn't he at 42? Norman Powell.
Norman Powell.
Yeah.
42.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I think he's sleeping on him. But without Kawhi or Paul George, I don't see them getting past Phoenix. So that's another one that'll be, depending on the injury with Kawhi, if he's going to play Saturday's game, I think Phoenix will wrap it up without him. Closer series will be the Cleveland and New York series. I think that's going to go to 7. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. Cleveland Knicks
They're
go
so
7.
close.
Who ended up winning that one tonight?
I think the Knicks won tonight, right?
Knicks was killing them at halftime. I don't know.
Yeah, the Knicks.
Yep, Knicks won.
So Knicks
up
2-1. Knicks up 2-1.
The Nuggets.
That's a sweet.
Oh, yep, Nuggets.
3-0 on Timberwolves.
That's sweet. That's a sweet.
So so when it comes to that, right? I got the Celtics coming out the East. You know what I mean? I got the Celtics going to the NBA Finals.
And who you got them facing?
I got the Celtics facing. I'm gonna go jump back on what Skid says. If Kawhi Leonard ain't playing with the Clippers, the Celtics are gonna play Phoenix in the finals.
What you looking at? What you thinking?
I say Denver, and depending on Giannis for Milwaukee is what I'm saying. Like Giannis back healthy, like his back, like he's a problem for the Celtics.
That ain't the Celtics put him out last year, so I ain't worried about him.
Yeah, he's a champion too, though. Is what I'm saying. They're not champions. That's all I'm saying. Like he's a champion.
They're defending champions in the East from last year.
This nigga's a defending.
So if Giannis is healthy, you got
NBA title. He got a ring.
So you got Giannis if he's healthy. You got the Bucks versus the Nuggets.
If healthy. If bad.
And if he ain't healthy, so you think because Philly Boston's next. So I know you're a Philly fan. Do you think we could beat Philly?
Yeah, I think I'm a Sixers fan by default, but I was a Sixers fan with Barkley, Julius Erving. Like I'm an old Iverson. Like I just loyal, so I ain't expecting too much from them motherfuckers. They choke.
I definitely got the being because listen, even if Giannis comes back, he got a little sore back here and there. All we gonna do is be giving him. I'm more concerned, man. Listen, Giannis can't beat us, man. Listen, if you ain't fully Giannis is the type of cat that can carry a team. So Milwaukee was the team you could ask because old Sergio, I was like, yo, Milwaukee, I have coming out the East, and I'm a Boston fan. I'm scared of the Milwaukee Bucks, but now that this boy got that little bum back,
and that's what I just said though. Depending on it,
even if he comes, he'll never beat. That's what I'm saying. You leave one of them games like that, you gonna limp into any round. So like
Okay.
now it's a wrap. I got beat.
Well,
Already
they're
it'd
healthy,
been
Giannis.
a 7. It was been 7 in Milwaukee, and it'd have been a toss up. But like with Giannis having them little small problems, man, listen, ain't no way in the world. I got Bean coming out of the East, and then
You
on
ain't
that
saying
West.
nothing about the Lakers. What the fuck?
Now listen, on that West Coast, man, I think Lakers gonna get Memphis.
Oh yeah. I no doubt
Lakers
about
gonna get
that.
Memphis. But the one thing about Anthony Davis, man, if somebody catches a cold on a bus, this dude, man, he might miss the whole rest of the. Like this dude, he can't jump ball, man. Anthony Davis, he just
Kawhi.
yo Kawhi.
You heard what Steven Smith said?
What he say?
He's the worst
All-star
ever.
I agree with him.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Know why? And
Kawhi
shout
Leonard's a
out
Hall
to
of
my
Famer,
barber.
a 3-time NBA champion,
Two-time NBA champion.
3 times. You
Two
got
times.
No, you got one with the Spurs and one with Toronto.
2 with the Spurs. You niggas crazy?
Let me look that up.
Look it up.
Let me
Nigga,
look
you
that
got
up.
2
I
with
need
the
to figure that
Spurs
one out.
and 1 with Toronto,
He
nigga.
probably do.
Before y'all come on this show, nigga, do your his work.
Let me figure that. Let me look that up right now.
I ain't gotta look it up.
I hear.
Who Kawhi Leonard had?
Anyway, while they look it up.
Two.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah, ain't no money.
Shit.
2-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
B. Keep
One
it
with
slow.
the Spurs and one with the
with
Raptors.
Now, it's crazy. Shout out to my barber, see the barber. Listen, all you
You only
gotta
got
do
one with the Spurs?
is use the dumb phone.
Let me see
all you
that.
gotta do is use the dumb phone.
Push that over.
How many championships do Kawhi have? All right, listen. Yo, shout out to C the Barber, man. Chris, dog, good looking on the cut. Listen what I'm saying. I sat in this chair today. Kawhi Leonard is one of his favorite players, right? He said Kawhi Leonard is top 3 players.
All time?
I asked him about all time. He said, no, I ain't going to say all time. But he kept it short. He said, playing right now.
No.
He said what?
Kawhi Leonard,
No.
He messed with Kawhi heavy. He like, yo, Kawhi Leonard, top 3 playing right now.
Nope.
Right? So, I'm
When he's
sitting in the
healthy.
chair.
When he's healthy.
I'm trying to I'm like, first of all, you can't even bring Kawhi Leonard up. I understand that the kid is a nice player. He's a dominant player. But I gave him, this was my example I gave him. Y'all can tell me if I'm effed up or what have you. I said, I think that Kawhi benefits from the Robert Horry syndrome. Robert Horry got 7 championship rings. Now listen, let me just say my point. I said Robert Horry played with Robert Horry got 7 championships, right? Big shot Bob, right? But I said he benefited from the players that he played with to now. Hey, Robert Horry was a decent player too.
Yeah.
Robert used to get buckets. He was nice, but either way, he was never no number
Shit
one
is going in the
superstar.
trash.
So listen. So all I'm saying is, where I say that he benefited from the players that was around him, he got 7 championships. This is what I'm saying about Kawhi. Kawhi became a nice player, a nice superstar around what?
Tim
Duncan, Tony Parker,
Manu
Ginobili, right?
So?
So he benefited from them, and we already know he shouldn't have won that MVP of that finals. We know that.
Shit.
They said that he locked down LeBron James. LeBron James averaged a triple-double on him.
That nigga
But
got
either
MVP.
way.
He got MVP. I don't know for what you talking about.
Okay,
He
that's
got
it.
MVP.
That's like saying
He
Steph Curry shouldn't have got it when they gave it to
got MVP.
Andre Iguodala. Okay, either way.
Yeah.
So we gonna sit up there and just ignore some stuff don't happen? Okay. And like
I'm
Scottie
saying
Pippen
it's-
couldn't have got one of them MVPs. with
I'm
Michael
saying
Jordan.
it's nonsense to
Either
put
way.
Horry and Kawhi. Like that's
No.
That's not even a discussion.
And that's exactly what my Bob said. I said,
Kawhi
no, you gotta listen to what I'm
Horry.
saying. I said, no, I'm not comparing the 2 players. I said he's benefited, like Robert Horry has benefited from being
Players around
around
the players.
great players.
Who hasn't?
Okay. Know who hasn't? LeBron James hasn't.
He hasn't benefited from being around good players.
What I mean by that,
You're
no,
fucking
listen
crazy.
what I'm saying. Listen, okay.
I don't know. You keep saying it, but it's taking
So,
too. What are you saying?
No. All right. So LeBron James carries the team.
Yeah.
Giannis carries the team.
Kawhi carries a team.
No.
I don't
He
see
carried
that.
Toronto.
What are you trying to tell me? No, listen. So
No way.
that team was always
Yo,
there,
you know-
right?
You niggas is
Kyle Lowry.
You niggas,
Kyle Lowry.
you niggas are not fit to talk sports. If you say Kawhi didn't carry that Toronto team,
No.
you're not fit to talk sports. You're
I'm
not
not saying
fit
Well,
to
they
talk
kick every
we
sports.
gotta
else
watch.
on
We
TV
gotta
off
watch.
the
We gotta
TV
watch.
then.
We gotta watch because you're trying to coast us into saying something. Listen to what I'm saying.
You said it.
He benefited from. So Kawhi Leonard did not carry. Remember that Toronto team was always a solid team. They got rid of
because they couldn't get over the hump.
Because they couldn't get over the hump.
Right.
And then they brought in Kawhi.
Right.
And he got him over the hump.
Right.
I'm not knocking. I'm not saying that he didn't. He's not a great player. I'm not saying that.
Did you watch the games?
Yes.
He carried the Toronto Raptors to a championship.
Are you talking about when Kyle Lowry averaged over 20 points and 10 assists? Are you talking about when Van Fleet? That's how he got $200 million playing for the Toronto Raptors.
Okay. Do you want me to go? Do you want me to go? Okay.
3-point.
Okay.
So
okay. Did Dwayne Wade get this nigga championship?
I said
LeBron?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
yes,
then.
Did.
So, like, that's not working, is what I'm saying. So you're saying who carried the team? LeBron carried the team, but if you want to go to specifics, like you're going with Kawhi, talking about Kyle Lowry, I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade. I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving. So don't do that.
All right,
you
so
can't do it.
No. All right, so in that Miami Heat series, right?
Yes.
So you're going to say that Dwayne Wade helped LeBron James, right?
Of course he helped.
Okay. So I totally agree with that.
He had 20-something too.
Now, when LeBron James was with the Cavs,
yep,
and he brought them bums to the finals,
yep.
he did that, right?
Yes. Yeah, but do you want to go over, there was someone averaging 20 points, I don't know who, but there was someone, like you just said, with Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry was averaging 20 points. What's his name?
Pascal Siakam.
No, for LeBron and them. Who was on that team is what I'm saying.
And Anderson Varejao. Kevin Love.
Kyrie Irving.
Averaged over 20. No, not that team.
He played with Daniel Boosie. He played with Boosie Gibson. Dellavedova.
Who won the chip with? Who you talking? What team?
The one who won the championship. We're talking about championships.
Yeah,
we talking about nothing else.
No, he's saying when he went with the bums. What team? What are you talking about when he went with bums?
With the Cleveland Cavaliers.
With Kyrie? That team?
When he carried them to the finals.
With Kyrie?
Yep. And Kyrie got hurt. And he ended
up
winning.
Listen, you're not listening.
He won one with Kyrie.
Okay, yeah.
It's got to be the one with Kyrie Irving.
No, he's not. You're not talking about the one with Kyrie Irving, right?
I'm talking about when LeBron James carried them bums. Dellavedova.
Without Kyrie,
without Iman Shumpert, right? All right, so
in love.
So
I know when Kyrie Irving was on the team, he just didn't play.
Right. He was on the team.
So that's a big difference. Not on playing.
So that's why I didn't bring up the Miami Heat. I would never bring up that.
How much Love average? 20 something.
We could say 20. We could say 18. We could say 25. It don't matter. But what I'm saying is that LeBron James can carry a team. Right? We know that. Facts. I don't think Kevin Durant can carry a team.
Kyrie Ever can carry.
Kyrie, we ain't
no, he can't carry no team.
Giannis
how come he haven't done it yet?
Giannis can carry.
Every time Irving's been, how come he haven't done it?
No, let's not switch. I just made a mistake.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard can, because you're not making any argument when you're going back to LeBron. What he did, Kyrie did. Kawhi Leonard did too.
Kawhi didn't. Kawhi had.
He took Toronto. He carried Toronto.
He didn't carry.
Then
that's
your argument is Kyrie Lowry averaged 20 points. That's your argument.
No. My argument is this: if you compare Kawhi with the Toronto Raptors, then you would have to compare LeBron with the Miami Heat.
Huh? What are you talking about?
So when LeBron was with Miami Heat, and they won the championships, right? And he had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, or whatever.
Yeah. So where's the difference?
This is what I'm saying is that I'm separating Miami Heat, LeBron James. Yeah. That's what I'm telling you is that so Kawhi had a team similar to how LeBron had a team with Miami Heat.
But Kawhi carried the team. There's always a player.
LeBron carried that team.
So why you saying?
There's a player that carried every team.
So why
LeBron carried that team.
LeBron carried the Miami Heat, and you saying no, he didn't.
No, I'm just saying, if you're saying Kawhi didn't, I'm saying LeBron didn't, is what I'm saying. Because he had fucking crazy help. Ray Allen, D-Wade averaging
And
20.
that's
Bosh
exactly what I'm
averaging
saying.
18.
And that's exactly
so
what
he
I'm
had
saying about
crazy help.
Toronto. And that's exactly what I'm saying.
Kawhi didn't have crazy help in the playoffs.
Well, he did. He had Kyle Lowry and Fred
Did you watch the
VanVleet.
games at the end, the fourth quarter? He was scored like 10 in a row.
I know,
Like,
but
it was that's carrying.
Okay, so but
When the game's on the line for you to win, and they give you the ball in the playoffs each series, you carrying your team. They ain't give it to Kyle Lowry to carry us, to take us home. Kawhi. Yeah. When it was time to win, who gets the ball in Toronto? When it's time to win. Just answer the question. Answer the question. When it's time to win.
VanVleet.
Yeah, now, yeah.
No, why? Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what they got to resort to. They're bullshit.
No, it ain't bullshit. Let me tell you like this. No.
Bullshit.
The one shot that Kawhi hit.
The one shot. What do you think he averaged in the playoffs?
You got the dumb phone.
Yeah, I'm saying, but what do you think?
25.
Yeah, more than 25. You know that. Do you know? Let's put a bet on. Let's put a bet on live.
You think it's more?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's what the trading places bet.
Okay.
Always.
What you think Kawhi averaging that series? You crazy, 25.
he probably averaged about 27.
Right. Thank you.
2 points more than 20.
That's a lot of points.
Kawhi
27 almost
average when they won the championship in Toronto.
The playoffs.
27.8.
Of course. 28
NBA
points.
Finals.
25, nigga.
Yeah, 28.5.
Yeah, it's almost 29 points.
Okay, so
wait a minute. Yeah.
So but here's what I'm saying, right? So
No. See, that was the whole. Kawhi Leonard has averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists in 18 games. That ain't.
Man, come
in
on.
his finals career.
Right.
That's over the career.
I know that.
But in that one series, he averaged more.
Kawhi carried them.
That's not even the final. I want to see.
So, but here's what the argument is, right, about Kawhi Leonard, right?
There's no argument.
There is an
he
argument.
carried Toronto
No.
to a championship.
Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
My point, what I'm saying about Kawhi Leonard is that this is what Kawhi Leonard have a problem with. He get to this point, right? In his health.
Oh, yeah, that's
durable.
a different argument. Different argument.
So
different argument. We're talking about what they've already done. That's our argument, not what I'm saying. In the Toronto series, everyone they can rewind this. He's saying he didn't carry Toronto. Fuck him being hurt this year. He's saying he didn't carry Toronto the year he was healthy.
So my point. So what I'm saying is, right. Let me just say something right quick. So my point is this, right?
What?
Your argument is,
yeah,
it's just because he's saying that you're gonna say LeBron didn't carry the Miami Heat only because he's saying that.
Right, I'm being a dickhead like him.
Yeah, the facts.
There you go.
Your facts is not backing up what you're saying just because you just said he's saying that.
So I'm being a dickhead like him because his facts are not either.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is
that's exactly what
LeBron James carried the Miami Heat, right?
And Kawhi carried Toronto Raptors.
If you want to say that, but at the same time,
I'm saying you can't say if I want to say it. You can't because now you're not.
No. Let me finish off. Let me finish off.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is that when you look at the role players on those teams, right?
Yep.
Just look. So when you're talking about carrying somebody, right? I don't care if you just make a big shot, right?
Right.
You can make a big shot at the end of the game. Anybody can make a big shot at the end of the game,
exactly.
Right? Or you can hit the last 5 points and you get your team over the hump.
What's your point?
But the point I'm saying is that what did the role players average throughout those finals games as well? Right? So when you're talking about carrying a team, did you score 40-plus points when you carried the team when you got them over the hump?
Who has though? You're going crazy.
No, I'm just saying. He had
40 point
games.
I'm
just saying, but when you're talking about carrying a team,
you got to average 28 or something and over.
Okay,
right.
So you got to set standards on when you talk about what defines carrying a team.
Definitely.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying you said all that. Yeah. He did. Is what I'm saying.
But again, I told you he's going to get me out of my original argument. My original argument was this: he said he was the top 3 best player in the NBA today.
Absolutely
and
not.
And my whole argument, that's why I say I lost it.
Because of health, right? You say
Because
he's
of
not.
health.
Okay,
I was
that's a
gonna say-
different story. You
That's
got-
where I was going.
No,
That's what I
you
said.
didn't. No, rewind this. You see where you went with it.
I started
You
this
started-
off
yeah.
by saying my man said that he was the top
And then
3
you
player.
got into him not
Yeah, no,
carrying
then you
teams
got
on
into me, and then I started going West Coast.
It's always
That's when this
rewind
shit.
on
Let me
this
see
shit.
that
It's
shit.
always rewind on this.
No, and that's when this shit kicked in. No,
always rewind.
I started off clearly said my man, and shout out to C. Baba again.
Who's
He
the
was
top
saying that
3?
he's the top 3 player in the NBA today. And
Who's
my
the
whole
top
thing when
3?
I'm sitting in the chair like, you bugging because first of all, he ain't played enough games to even be considered top anything.
So who's
Now
the
we're
top
healthy.
3?
Oh man, listen, I'll go. I mean, I could go 5, man. I go
Okay.
Giannis,
Uh-huh.
Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I'll go Jason Tatum. I'll go Jokic.
Yeah.
I'll go
Luka
You
Doncic.
just-
Luka
You're done after them.
I can-
after the
hold on,
champions.
let me
You're
keep
done
going.
after the champions. You're done after Curry, Giannis,
Curry, Giannis,
LeBron.
and LeBron.
Curry, LeBron. Kevin Durant ain't got
Oh,
2
Kevin
champions.
Durant.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're done
yeah,
after that.
Um,
You're done after that. You're done, and none of them other niggas is proven, nigga.
Well,
What
hold
is wrong
on.
with you
Hold on.
niggas? They're not proven.
No.
Don't put them up
The
there.
other cat just
all-time
won
great.
back-to-back MVP. He won back-to-back MVPs. What's the
Nigga,
name?
chips.
Jokic. That's why I said.
Nigga, they not proven. You niggas, man, I argued with you niggas before, and
No,
you've been
but-
on my side
but-
with what I'm saying.
but-
Kawhi's
the
a
coach-
fucking champion, 2-time MVP, the champion.
You can't
Them
take that
other
away.
niggas is not proven. Don't put them in it ahead of him. You
Yeah,
can't.
wait a minute. Wait a
You
minute.
can't put
So
them
I
ahead.
can't put Luka Doncic ahead of Kawhi just
I
because he got.
fucking know.
What you mean?
What's his accomplishments?
Skiz.
Isn't that part of what y'all talking about? If y'all said who's
So
the
that's
all-time
like
great key player,
that's like saying Charles Barkley is not one of the top 75 players. Now I can take him out of that because he hasn't won a championship and put niggas who won championships in that category. Then
No.
if it's about what they accomplished.
No, okay.
You can't make that argument.
yes, you can. You got to win championships and put in the work.
Well,
Is
Charles
what I'm saying.
Barkley ain't won no championship. So
That's
where
why
does that
he's
leave
so
him?
far down the line on that list.
It doesn't matter.
Yes,
Just take
it
him
does.
off the list.
He was top 50.
You don't take the. You don't take
He
the.
was top 50.
Like
You
that,
just said because of his accomplishments, well, he haven't won no rings.
what I'm saying is,
Exactly.
you niggas know what I'm talking about. His whole resume is what I'm saying with championships. I'm just saying he has championships. They don't have them. He has MVPs in the finals. I'm saying his shit is extensive. I'm not stopping at championships. I'm saying they don't have them, and that helps determine the best player in the league. Championships are big. Unless you're extraordinary.
No, I
and
agree
Charles
with that.
Barkley
No, I
was
agree with
extraordinary.
that. I
He
agree
was
with that.
6'4", a power forward. So if you're extraordinary, that's how you make the list.
So let me ask
He
you.
ain't no fucking
so
Charles
let
Barkley,
me
no
ask
champion.
so let me ask you this question: Kawhi Leonard, right?
Mhm.
Don't play every game,
Right.
Because somebody said he's not in the top 3
Yeah.
in the NBA right now. It's not taking away what he's did.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what he was basing this on.
No, he said
You know, so right now you're saying Kawhi Leonard is in your top 3 in the
he's
league
in my
right now.
top 3.
Okay, that's what you want to put
And
him
it's
at.
all,
NBA
that's
players
all.
today.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
How about
Yeah.
Dame Lillard?
Fuck no. In my top 3? Why would he be in there?
I ain't saying top. Obviously, we already know the top 3.
So what-
First of
what-
all,
what is his name? What is his
I
name
thought
coming
Kawhi
up
was already out the top 3. We
What
didn't
was his
already-
name? I
Then
said
we already
mine.
said Giannis.
You said yours.
Okay,
I never said
so
mine.
Giannis is in your top 3.
Giannis?
Yeah, is Giannis in your top 3 players right now? Playing not the history, playing
Now.
today.
Right now.
Is Giannis in your top 3 players? NBA right now. We're talking about trying to win the championship one day. Well,
Right now.
whatever criteria you want to use, is Giannis in your top 3?
He can't be if I got Kawhi in there.
Who's your top
asking
3?
who's your top 3? Let's just do it
Right now. Who's your top 3?
Who's your top 3?
Now.
Durant in the league today.
Right now.
With their history. Durant, Kawhi, and LeBron.
I don't know how you going.
I don't know how you gonna skip
How
over
you gonna-
Giannis.
I don't know how Giannis-
He can be fourth.
Who's the defendant MVP?
He can be fourth.
You know what I
You can
mean?
switch. You
How
can
you mention
flip-flop
Steph
them two.
Curry,
You
who
can-
won a championship last year, who's the best 3-point shooter ever to race the game of
Giannis
basketball.
and Steph Curry is top
Two,
like
they-
dog.
they
That's
were the
like
top two.
listen.
He's my top 3. A healthy Kawhi, my top 3.
Over Steph Curry,
A healthy Kawhi.
who's done changed the NBA, like the way they play the league now.
Kawhi.
You got everybody and their mama trying to shoot like
Kawhi,
Steph.
my top 3. Take LeBron out there.
Wow. All right, listen. This is why we love the games, man. This is why they play the game. This dude. Yo,
That's the same. This is the same argument when niggas be like, "Oh, Kyle Karak,
Kawhi.
Hey, new sponsor.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what got it
when
right
they
there.
say Kyrie Irving is only known. This is why they say Kyrie Irving is known for only one shot. Because niggas don't listen or look or learn or watch the game.
Nobody would say that dumb shit.
The commentators say that every day. Nigga, you know what?
Hold on. The Kyrie Irving is only known for one shot?
That's what that Skip Bayless. Do you all watch sports shows? You don't never hear them say that?
Well, he's known for hitting one of the biggest shots.
That's all they say. They say that's all.
But they'll always say that Kyrie Irving is one of the top.
And Shannon Sharp say he's only known. I'm telling you, I'm not arguing no more. I'm telling you what they said. He's only known for that.
Well, that's just their opinion. I have different opinions.
Don't disrespect
Me
their
too.
opinion. They all always say that he's still one of the top 1 or 2 point guards. To
play the game.
To play the game.
Well, nigga, I don't give a fuck. If they say that, then you're gonna say all he's known for is that one shot.
Not in my opinion.
That's what they say. So what I'm saying is, niggas who get paid to say this shit is saying it. Is what I'm saying, and everybody will listen.
You getting paid? You get the sponsor. Like you getting paid to speak your opinion now.
I'm saying Kawhi Leonard is one of the best players in the league right now.
Now, here's another thing. Kawhi missed last night's game, and he's gonna miss the next game.
Right. That looks bad.
So wait a minute. He didn't play last night?
He didn't play last night, and he's not playing tomorrow.
So what happened to him? I don't know.
A shaky knee. Yeah, it's already out. Ruled out. Game 4. Ruled out.
Done. They're done.
Ruled out.
They're done.
So here this guy is, right? Supposed to be a world premier, top NBA player, and every time you get to the finals, every time you get to these big games, you're not durable. That's just as bad as Anthony Davis.
Just as bad. Just as bad.
And don't bring him Anthony Davis. Some people's body is just what they are, man. You can't make it.
His body's a top 15 player.
I'm talking about his body, man. You can't make his knees be better than they are. Some motherfuckers.
And you can't make him a better player than he fucking. Don't put him in no top 3.
I am when he's healthy. You all talk about genetics.
When he's healthy.
A nigga
now, that's a good point.
You can't jump into a nigga's body and make it the way you want it to be.
But you
Some
said
niggas
when he's
just
healthy.
born with them bodies.
You're right.
Grant Hill, that's all.
You said it best. You said when he's healthy.
He's the best.
And he's never healthy.
When he's the best, yes he is. When he won the chips, he was healthy.
Yeah,
when he's healthy, they're saying arguably he's the best player.
No.
Yes, they do.
Who?
Tell him.
I haven't heard nobody say that.
That year he won the chip, he was the best in the NBA. You didn't hear some commentators say that?
Probably say the best 2-way player. I would say the best 2-way player.
Best player.
Not the best. LeBron James has held that title for years. And then Giannis came
in.
And then Steph Curry.
Selective men.
No. I would definitely.
The year he won it, they saying he was the best player in the NBA.
I would say the best 2-way player because he plays D and he gets on offense. Like, no, come on.
If you're the best two-way player and you win the chip that year, how can you not be the best player in the league?
What was they saying? That's all.
You just switched it to something that made no sense.
You said I did. You asked me a question.
That made no sense though. I'm saying, like that's a dummy response.
But you asked me what they
You just said he's the best two-way player.
I said that's what they were saying. I didn't say that.
What do you think?
When they
that's what we're talking about, not Dave. What you think?
I don't think he's ever been the best player in the NBA. I don't think he's ever been the best player in the NBA.
My question
Since he's been in the league, ain't no way in the world you're going to tell me he's been the best player in the NBA.
You just said he might be the best two-way, right?
I said, what's wrong with you?
Okay, do you think... I get you. Do you think he was the best two-way player in the league that year? Fuck what they said. Now I'm asking you.
Yes.
So why we go through all that? Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
He ain't never been the best player in the NBA in my eyes.
But that year he was the best two-way player.
And that year when he won the championship with Toronto.
So if he's the best two-way player.
In fact, I'll retract that. No. In fact, I'll retract that. Know why I retract that? Because he only played 50 games that year. So you got to play the games.
They've been low managing Kawhi.
They've been low managing.
Making no sense now, man.
No.
He's the best two-way player now. You retract like
no. Nobody. Nowhere in the world.
Nowhere. He ain't.
Yo, when you sitting down, you got to think about it. These cats is playing 75, to 80
How many games he played the year he won
50
it?
years, man. 50 years. 50
games.
Like, yo,
It's an 82-game season.
They low managed him, and then he was fresh for the playoff. Meanwhile, people are banged up, bad fingers, bad knees, everything, and they going through the rigmarole. And now this dude want to come in fresh out the bing, and he want to start trying to dominate people that's done played a full season. That just ain't a fair competition at all. Like, they low managed this kid since San Antonio.
None of that. I'm saying the year he won the chip with Toronto, he wasn't the best player in the league. I don't fuck about none of that shit you talking, nigga. If he's the best,
even when he won, so you trying to tell me even when somebody wins a championship, they're the best? That means that the best player on that team was the best player in the NBA that year?
I'm saying the way he played. No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. That's why I just wanted to make sure.
Plus, he ended up with the chip.
He balled out like in the playoffs. He balled out, whatever. But that still didn't make him the best player in the NBA.
My question is this.
Of course.
You just don't retract what you just said. Just because a player that was nice as shit and won the championship, that didn't make them the best player.
All of that combined. What makes you the best?
Messi. You just said no.
No. So what makes you the best player? So who's the best?
If you
player?
win the NBA championship,
plus, yep.
So no. So
if you won the NBA championship 1 year, does that mean that you was the best player in the NBA?
I said that's one thing he did. I didn't say that. I said that's one thing he did.
So now you're saying that doesn't make you the best player, right? So if you win the NBA championship,
no, because there's too many players on that team to say that.
Not just that team. That's what I'm saying is so. If somebody wins the NBA championship, that doesn't mean that person that was dominating that won that NBA championship, that didn't make them the best player in the NBA that year.
If
right?
they dominated the league, yes. If you dominated the league and won a chip, yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes, it does.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
No, that's not true. Because the person who wins the MVP is the person who dominated the league that year. Mm-hmm. When somebody wins the MVP of the NBA and they don't win the championship, they're the person who dominated the league that year. That's why they voted the NBA's most valuable player. Mm-hmm. The person who wins the championship is not the MVP of the NBA. He's the MVP of the finals.
Yeah,
right.
So no, that don't make you the best player in the league just because you win the championship.
I think so.
You think so? What?
I think so.
Well, you're gonna go against what the league standards are?
Don't care what you think.
If y'all go against what the league say, then we could. Y'all got to stick by too.
No, I'm not going
against the league rules. Then we wouldn't have that conversation.
No, I'm not going against what the league is saying. I'm just saying the person, teams, Nikola Jokic won most valuable player 2 years in a row. From the Denver Nuggets.
And didn't even make it to the
and didn't even make it to the final. So what are we talking about?
I'm not saying he's the best player. You all are saying it.
No, we're not saying it. He was voted most valuable player of the NBA.
I'm not saying who's the one who won it the year.
We know that he didn't win it because he only played 50 games.
So who won?
You wanted to look it up?
So what I'm saying is, if y'all don't think Jokic was, someone else was. I'm saying Kawhi. The end of the year that's regular season. That's when you determine.
Right.
If you went the whole year, playoffs and championship, Kawhi would have won MVP.
No, he wouldn't have. He only played 50 games. What are you talking about?
Of course he would.
No, but he only played 50 games.
The MVP of the whole league, including playoffs, that year would have been Kawhi.
No, but they don't include the playoffs.
No, not.
I said if you included playoffs.
But they don't include the playoffs.
So what I'm saying is he had an extended season, not the MVP. So he is the best player in NBA to me because he had an extended season. His team went further and he won a championship.
So wait a minute.
Why?
No.
Why am I bugging?
Just hear me for a second.
Yep.
The league, every sport, every major sport,
right?
There's a most valuable player voted for the regular season. That does not include the playoffs.
You're not listening, though.
No.
I know that. Like, you're going over something I know.
Listen to me.
I don't have to because you're going over something I know.
No. But you just said if it includes the regular season and the playoffs, then that person to you is the MVP of the league. You just said that.
That is what you just
said. He should be.
But wait a minute. But you including the playoffs. When we're talking about the regular season, it's one season, and teams that get eliminated out of the playoffs, and then you begin the playoffs.
The motherfucker who wins the MVP is the MVP of the regular season. That doesn't mean he's the best player in the NBA. The nigga who had the extended season and took their team to the chip
That's
is the
not
best
true.
player in the NBA.
No.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's
Nigga,
not how it
just because
goes.
you're the best player in the regular season. LeBron sometimes don't turn it on the playoff because he's won enough MVPs. But he's still the MVP of the league. Niggas just got to get it because they got to give it to somebody else. Jordan should have won all them motherfucking MVPs. But they gave it to what the fuck his name is.
Karl Malone.
No, that wasn't even Karl Malone.
Karl
White
Malone won
Stockton
two
or
of them
somebody.
bitches.
Nash, yeah. So what I'm saying is Jordan won enough. He waited to the playoffs is where he shined. So what I'm saying is Kawhi is the best player in the league that year because the MVP was determined for him in the playoff when you go get that chip.
So now you're gonna take. All right. So
When you
like
go
you
get
just
that
so
chip.
listen to what you just said. So like now you're gonna say that LeBron should have won it every year, even though he didn't win a championship. So now you're gonna sit up there and say that Kawhi.
I said LeBron should have won it every year. I said Jordan.
Okay, Jordan. Okay, so Jordan should have won it every year. So LeBron or Jordan. All right, let's say
ain't no or.
Jordan.
I never said nothing about LeBron.
Jordan.
So.
All right, so Jordan should have won it every year.
Yep.
Only because he won a championship 6 years.
No, only because he was the best player and everyone know he could be the best player whenever he wants to be. There's no argument on that.
So why was he?
Right?
So
is there an argument on Jordan being the best player in the NBA?
No, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
No.
There's no argument
No.
Okay.
But if that was the case, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't he win MVP of the regular season all those years then?
Because they wanted to give it as politics, like anything else. You just said you agree every year he was the MVP. You just said that.
I think that Michael Jordan has been the best player in the NBA.
So every year he was there.
But I'm saying,
he turned that bitch on. Like,
Right.
but my point is, but other people, right, might have averaged
Had
more
better
points,
seasons.
better seasons, regular seasons than Michael Jordan had a regular season.
Yeah.
That's cool. They had a better season. That don't mean they're the best player. Kawhi Leonard was the best player.
But listen, Skid, that's why
they had a good season.
That's why they
you got your stats up.
That's why they distinguish the different parts of the season. That's why it's the regular season.
And then
right,
the playoffs.
And then the playoffs, and then the NBA Finals.
But that doesn't mean that the MVP is the best player, as we just proved.
Well,
Jordan is still the best player.
We didn't prove
Jordan
anything.
is still the best player.
That's just what
the year Karl Malone or who was it, Stockton won it, Jordan was the best player in the NBA.
So why did he win the MVP?
I can't answer. That's politics. Nigga, what are you laughing at? Because you said it was.
Listen, no.
Yeah. He's like this,
but the fact of the matter is
the same thing.
Listen, that's your opinion.
Don't do that.
But what did the people who vote have to say about that?
Niggas voted for Trump. Fuck is y'all talking about? What's that, nigga? Come on, y'all. What the fuck is these niggas talking about, Trav?
Listen, there's no way in the world.
Yeah, same thing. So if you vote for that's the best person then. That's how we're gonna live our life. Come on, y'all.
Listen,
we're bigger than that. Don't get caught up in politics, bro.
What I'm saying is, what you always gotta look at.
Bringing up politics.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it is politics because the MVP is you had to give that to somebody else. You could have gave it to Jordan that year. It wouldn't have been an argument.
All right, so like this shit.
Right.
All right, so this shit. You got the top three. You got Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis.
Yep.
And Giannis. They're the top three MVP vote getters.
Yep.
Any three of them people
can win. So one of them's not gonna win.
Right. So
Giannis already won?
No, it's open right now.
Yep.
Those three.
Yep.
Giannis, Embiid, and
Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
And Jokic.
Yep.
Jokic is a center. He missed the triple double he got 9.8 assists.
Yeah.
He don't want back-to-back MVP. This would be 3, right?
Yeah.
So now, out of them 3 players, one of them are going to win MVP this season.
Right.
Let's say that Embiid wins MVP, or whoever. Let's just say Embiid wins MVP this year. Out of them 3 players, who do you think is the best player out of them 3?
Embiid, Giannis,
and Jokic. Just out of your naked eye, like
you like. I don't like neither one. That's why I got to think.
Yeah, but I'm
not a fan of them. I'm not a fan.
So like
that's the difference.
Now, who would you like out of them 3 players? Like one of them's gonna win MVP. Who do you think is the best player in the NBA?
Best player or MVP? I don't think it's the same thing.
One of them gonna win MVP. I say out of them 3,
who's the best
MVP,
player?
Who's the best player?
That's a fair question.
Who's the best player?
I like that question. Okay.
Me personally, right now, I'm probably going to go with. I'm going to exclude the playoffs.
Fuck the playoffs.
Okay. To me, it is Joel Embiid.
Me too.
That's my opinion.
My opinion. Yeah,
Giannis is the best player in the NBA today.
Mm-hmm.
But are we going back? Like I'm saying,
No, I just asked you who you think is the best
not
player.
envy. Who's gonna win the MVP?
Nah, fuck who's gonna win
I'm
MVP.
sorry.
Them
Yeah.
are the 3 top players.
Yeah.
And who do you think is the best player out of them 3 players?
There's no argument with you on that side.
Yeah.
One of them 3 is gonna win MVP.
Giannis. And if Giannis don't win it, he's still the best player to me.
And that's what I'm saying is that Giannis ain't gonna win it. I think they're gonna give it to
So
Embiid.
that's what I'm saying with Kawhi. Nigga, who won it? He didn't win it that year, but he's the best player. That's what you going back to.
And that's
exactly what I'm saying.
The reason why he could never win it is because he only played 50 games. Now, but that's why
he went right back to what I'm saying.
You don't think him playing 50 games matter? How can he be voted the league's best player when he playing 50 games when everybody else is playing 75 to 82 games?
Okay, so why ain't Embiid win? I mean, why ain't we know Giannis is the best player? Why ain't he winning it? Why shouldn't he win it?
Well, we ain't saying he ain't.
I think
we don't know. Maybe he will.
Giannis might win it.
He's not gonna win it.
Yeah, Giannis might win it.
Embiid's gonna win it.
Jokic might win it.
Embiid's
I
gonna
think
win
they're
it.
going. I think it's some fan.
Embiid's
I
gonna
don't
win
know.
it. Embiid's gonna. But if he's okay,
you gotta remember too, right? You got people like.
If he didn't, the best player didn't win it.
You got people, right?
You got people who the best player didn't win the MVP.
But you got people who vote for your NBA players, right? For MVP, who never even played the sport.
Mm-hmm.
That's more to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's more to what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, but
you're saying that's what the NBA said.
No. But just hear me out. They still gotta look at stats. They still gotta look at what you've done throughout the course of the season. They still gotta look at games played. They still gotta look at what you do for your team. They still gotta look at how much of an impact you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So at the end of the season, Kawhi won the chip.
But
you already know who won it that year.
We don't know right now. We can look it up.
But at the end of the year, let's look that up. At the end of the year, let's see who that was. Do you think Kawhi was a better player? Let's look up who won the MVP. But at the end of the year, after it's all said and done,
so what you're telling me is, if you play 82 games, right, and I play 50,
I'm saying
I should get the MVP, right?
Let's just look up who won that year.
Who was the MVP in 2019 in the NBA season?
Acquired by the Raptors, Kawhi during the offseason, Kawhi Leonard was named the NBA Finals.
NBA in regular season.
I
know. You sure the nigga was an MVP that year? Because if he is, niggas turn this shit off. If he's an MVP, turn this shit off, and you niggas never talk about sports to me again. If he's an MVP of that year.
MVP in 2019.
Giannis.
The year Kawhi
2019. 2019.
James Harden won it in 18. Giannis won it in 2019.
And the year he won it, that's when motherfucking Miami fucking shut him down in the playoffs. Remember what they did?
Fact.
So who's the best player that year?
Giannis.
Yo. Anyway, we signing off, man.
Yeah, we signing off, man. Listen,
shit, these niggas.
Giannis been the best player in the NBA for some years.
He had to get over that hump. That's that shit that. That
and then the next year
tore his ass up.
Boston got him twice.
Yeah.
In fact, Boston got him that year, 2019. Listen.
So that's the same thing.
Let me show you.
If that's the case, right?
We got to end this joint.
If that's the case, go ahead.
No, she wanted somebody.
She go get ice shit.
Can you get by that?
Yeah, she good.
Okay.
You niggas is crazy.
So no, if that's the case, right? So when the San Antonio Spurs
won the
chip against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? They beat LeBron.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So everybody was expecting LeBron to beat the San Antonio Spurs that season in the NBA Finals. I wasn't, because it was not their turn. They wasn't next man up. It was well deserved by the San Antonio Spurs. They had the better team. They had the most.
Who won the MVPs? Well, let's go back.
We just said it.
That year they won.
2019.
The year San Antonio won and beat LeBron. Who won MVP.
I don't
That's
know
what
who
we're talking about.
We gotta go way back that point.
But that's what we're talking about, though. MVP of the leagues and best player. I think it's different. I think just because you win the MVP for the year regular season, I don't think that necessarily means you're the best player. That's all.
Well, why would you be voted most valuable player of the NBA for that season? Because
then we're going to go to politics again. Then you just said
no, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does. But no. That's the reason. I'm giving you the reason. Another motherfucker's an MVP. It's because of politics. That's the reason. Shit.
No, you want to include the playoffs and the NBA Finals in that season, and that's not how it goes.
No, I'm saying the best player in the league is not always the MVP. That's all. Trash, you agree?
Say it again?
The best player in the league is not always the MVP.
Yeah.
It's not always MVP, man. This just says niggas.
Well, what about football? Is it the same thing?
Yep. Sometimes I think they get it wrong. You do too. You think every time a nigga
no, because they look at the stats, they look at your overall performance during the course
but
of the
stats
season.
don't make you the best player in the league.
Oh,
who's the best player ever to play basketball? To you?
To me?
Yeah.
It's LeBron right now.
Get out.
LeBron's
Turn
my best player
off,
ever,
man.
like that.
You already said
LeBron's my GOAT, nigga. That's my opinion. I don't care what nobody say.
LeBron's the best player ever. Who's your best player ever to play the game?
He going
I ain't
got
to ask you, my fault.
He's going with Jordan, nigga, but LeBron's my
Who's
GOAT.
your best player ever play the game?
Fuck
Trash.
Jordan.
Yo,
I ain't got to ask him either.
Who's your best player?
Jordan.
Man,
easy.
You niggas just like Jordan because he's fucking y'all ever.
Because he's
Nigga,
the
give
best.
LeBron his fucking flowers.
I did, but he ain't the best in the MVP.
yo, there's so many dynamics, man, to this, but like, ain't nowhere in the world. Yo, how many people went home naked? Our top 50 players, like people that were dominant players in their
That's what I
time.
mean.
When on my watch, you're not getting a ring. Michael Jordan owns that. There's nobody that can own that. Like, there's so many players right now in this day and age.
Well, that's not true.
Jordan stopped.
Because when Jordan came in the league, the first couple years he was in the league, who shitted on Michael Jordan? The Boston Celtics. He win championships all the time when he came in the
Pistons
league.
shitted on.
Please, and the Celtics.
Pistons
But that's what I'm saying.
So don't.
Listen,
Jordan, he didn't come in the league making that type of impact. He came in the league and he got shitted on by the people who was ahead of him already.
But when he did, he didn't relinquish one time. When he took over, it was no one's turn.
So my
Well,
Everybody got a turn.
that nigga went down. He did when he went down to the Washington Wizards and got shitted on.
Hold on.
And had to come back and go back to the second time for
wasn't playing no basketball then.
Was he a part of the Washington? So now you're gonna discount those years he played for the Washington Wizards?
Okay,
that's
so
what you're telling me.
Okay, so when LeBron don't win a ring this year,
one thing we got to say, Michael Jordan was drafted to the Chicago Bulls with alcoholic and drug addicts, right? So everybody like Zion Williamson, all these players that get drafted, you go into what? A shitty team, right? So you drafted early, you go into a shitty team. So when you got a team like Boston
So LeBron
Celtics,
got drafted to a shitty team.
So let me finish. So whenever you go to a shitty team and then they start to build around you, then you start to see progress. And once that team is dominant, or once that player is a dominant player, then they do not relinquish that hold on. You see when Shaq went to the Lakers, you know what I mean? Like you see stuff like that. Like so when LeBron went to certain. So when you that player, once you get a team around you, a solid team, like you don't always have to have 20 all-stars and so forth and so on, like the way they matching it all up now. But either way, sticking with it. Once Michael Jordan got Scottie Pippen.
So he needed somebody.
homegrown.
Well,
he needed somebody.
Homegrown. He didn't go nowhere to find somebody.
But he couldn't do it without somebody.
He didn't go and find an established player who already won a ring.
So your favorite
he
player.
Made LeBron. He made Pippen.
He
molded
your
Pippen
favorite
into
player,
what he wanted to be.
Your favorite player.
Right.
Charles Barkley.
No, my favorite ever? No.
Well, Charles Barkley, you just did it.
I said that.
Okay. But
Barkley's not
a
my
lot, you love Charles Barkley. Stop
I
with
love
that
him.
bullshit.
I say he's not my favorite player.
So some of these players, even back then, were jumping ship to try to go win chips, and they couldn't do it.
Charles did it when he was 99.
Right.
He's
Which one of the first motherfuckers who did it?
No, but
first.
So you gonna give him a pass?
No, I'm not giving him a pass.
For
But
jumping
I'm saying-
teams?
No, know what he did? Because Philly actually traded him to Phoenix. So that's
So then when he left Phoenix, what'd he do?
That's what
He went to
he was.
Houston.
He had a
To do
bum hip
what?
and all of that.
So, but he went with Kai Drexler, Olajuwon, and everybody. He went to Houston to do what?
Yo, but at the end of his career,
try to win it.
he didn't
Yeah,
do
it
that. in
doesn't
his prime.
matter.
It does matter. Like, listen. In other words,
he was
hold on, like,
horrible.
yo, listen.
LeBron was a beast when he
like, yo,
went
when
to
Tracy
Miami.
McGrady signed with San Antonio Spurs, like, that's not the T-Mac that we told. Like, some stuff you just know. Like, some stuff.
LeBron was the best. His best years was in Miami. I've never seen him that good.
He took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the finals against the San Antonio Spurs. What are you talking about?
I said I've never seen him as good as in Miami.
He took the Cleveland
I
Cavaliers
don't
to
care where
the
it took him,
finals.
his play. I don't never seen him as good as
So his play wasn't that good when he took the team
I
to
didn't
the
say
finals.
that. I didn't say that. I
You
just
just
said
said the play wasn't that good.
I said Miami's was the best I ever seen him. That's why he was a.
But he took-
was a
he
seasoned
took
LeBron
that trash
who knew how to win. Is what I'm saying when he got
to the
Miami.
NBA Finals. Did he not?
He damn sure.
Hey, who'd you go through?
What?
Tell me a fierce competitor in the East when he took him.
Shit, he had
The
to get-
Celtics wasn't
He
there.
had to get
There
past
wasn't- there
Detroit.
wasn't-
He had to get past. Who did he beat?
Let's
He
end
beat
this
the
nigga.
Celtics and Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker them to get there. What are you
Right,
talking
Antoine
about?
Walker, not the Garnett and them Allen.
But
Like, that team was still solid. But either way, he still got by the
Niggas, get the
Pistons.
fuck out
The
of here.
Pistons, they still had a solid
so he
team
telling
in
me that the
playoffs.
Celtics with
They had a
Antoine
good
Walker,
They had a good team.
with
That
Paul
wasn't no
Pierce
ill
and
Pistons
Kendrick
team.
Perkins.
Yo,
He telling me
He had an easy road, bro. Come on, man.
So now he had an easy road?
The East was weak. Just
So then
name
I'm
name
gonna
somebody half as good as LeBron.
So I'm gonna
The
tell
East
you
was weak.
that when Chicago was winning their series, then the East was weak then too.
Hell no.
Who did they beat?
You watched it.
Oh, Chicago?
Yes. Who was they beating? Nobody.
Man, you
Who?
Pistons,
The
the Celtics.
Celtics.
When Isaiah Thomas was on his last leg, when Larry Bird and McHale and Rob Patterson was
Yeah,
on their last
that's true.
leg,
That's
stop
true,
giving
too.
me. See, now you want to
That's
change
true,
the narrative.
No, that's
LeBron
true,
them
too.
beat old niggas,
That's true, too.
and now he didn't beat old niggas. No, he
true, too.
did.
Milwaukee was good then.
Milwaukee, who?
The Bucks.
With who?
Marcus Johnson.
Vin Baker, nigga, the weak
Glenn
smoker.
Robinson.
Marcus Johnson. Glenn
Robinson.
Robinson.
All
Milwaukee
Glenn
was good.
Robinson did was
Sam
call.
Cassell.
What did he do?
Ben Baker.
Yeah.
They
Cleveland was
was
decent.
What did they do?
Cleveland was
They didn't do nothing. They
decent.
lost.
What did they do?
They lost to LeBron.
Exactly.
Yo, but we go for days and nights.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we ain't gonna-
Yo, let's get it.
Y'all see
Let's
what
go
it do.
bananas.
Y'all better
Know what I
get
mean?
some.
Let's
Yo.
get it popping.
Yo, we ended up going 17 hours, B.
Oh,
My
man.
fault,
Couple
man.
podcasts.
Yo.
And the
Yeah,
last
you
part of
going
this
the wrong
about
way.
sports is just how we used to always do on the hood.
Yeah,
That's
We
all.
get deep into the sports conversation because that's our major.
We go deep.
We go deep.
Deep undercover. Yo, but listen, check it out, man. Like, so again, man, this is Mask Cover Podcast, man. Yo, tell your friends, man. Log on, man. Go to YouTube, log on, hit the subscribe button. We see it's moving up. So continue to do that. Push that to your friends and family, man. Mask Cover Podcast.
Man,
You see, Mask Cover got a new sponsor, our only sponsor right now. But we're going to get more. Yo, this is just the beginning, man. J Defense, JAYDFENCE. That's how you can reach Fence. Mask Cover Podcast on everything, too.
K-Flip, 1969. Let's get it.
Your boy Hollywood Kids. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know where I am. Let's go. See you next time.
Is this thing on? See y'all when we see y'all. Happy birthday to nobody. Hey, shout out to Sharisa, man. Sharisa, you did your thing last night, man. I went live, man. God bless you, man.
Yeah, I go piss. I'm going to